to the sponsors. Obviously, I'm a minute before we go into to these guys here. Borough Museum, Galaxy Blinds, Cornerstone, TGM Cars, RWT, that's Richard Wills Training Associates, Cleveland Systems Engineering, and Advanced Utility Solutions. If you've just walked in the door, you might have been on the drink, you might have been indulging in food, festivity food, and putting on a few clem. Borough won today. It was a comfortable win. First half wasn't great. I mean, I'm going to be saying it in a minute when I go live here. But yeah, it wasn't the most entertaining game, but if we're serious about getting in that top six, which we're in at the minute, a couple of teams have got a game in hand, they could knock us out of that, but we're good enough to finish in the top six, and if we're serious about doing that and achieving it, we have to beat teams like Birmingham. Not being disrespectful to Birmingham, but they were poor. They're trying to get us a wee bit square, it's a wee bit tilted. Anyway, thanks for joining us on Facebook Live, and obviously on YouTube, and thanks as always to the sponsors, Borough Museum, Galaxy Blinds, Cornerstone, TGM Cars, RWTA, that's Richard Wills Training Associates, Cleveland Systems Engineering, and Advanced Utility Solutions. I apologise to YouTube, I've just went through that, but I'll say it again because we always go here a minute later. I'd like to wish every one of you, especially watching here, a happy new year. Hope it's a great one. The team that faced Blackburn was the team that faced Birmingham today. No real surprise. But the team, if you didn't know, was Stefan, Gels, Lenihan, Fry, Smith, McGree, Hackney, Howson, Foz, Crooks and Akpom. Akpom and Crooks continued to be the two up top. Foz stayed in the right. On the bench was Roberts, Jones, Moat, Muniz, McNair, Watmore and Bowler. That was the starting lineup. What did I think of the game? I thought the first half was a non-event. Never really get going. Neither keeper was employed. Both were unemployed. Keepers could have had cigars out, sitting in chairs. There was nothing on target from either team. And then the second half, we really came to life. And two fine goals for Crooks. One for Akpom, that's 13 for the season. He's the league's top scorer. Not just Middlesbrough's top scorer, the league's championship's top scorer. They scored a consolation goal, but I was saying earlier, if we are looking to finish top six, then we have to beat teams like Birmingham. They were poor. I mean, the first goal, it was a great cross for Howson. He had drifted out to the right wing. We know Johnny usually sits in the middle, but he's ventured right. He's crossed a great ball. Crooks is up the back stick. Great header, great finish. Well done, Crooksy. And then the second, it was a long hoof ball. George Friend, former Borough favourite. We should get back on the field, Bernie. We should get you back in the field. Yeah, it was a long ball. George Friend, who'd come off the bench earlier because the centre half was, I think George had his injury problems. He totally miskicked it. I mean, he'd have touched like a baby elephant. Well, he didn't actually miskick it. He'd have touched like a baby elephant. He went to bring it down, which you shouldn't do as a centre back, and it went straight to Crooks. Crooks carried it through 1-1. Thank you very much. And it was a cool finish from Crooksy. So that was two. And then he was very unselfish for the third. Up the inside right, two players went towards him. He seen Akpom alone in the middle. Their defence had disintegrated by this time. He played it square, and Akpom kept his cool, his composure, and 13 goals for the season. So it was a great finish to the game. 3 goals. We're in that top six, so everything's going very well. I'm going to read these out, but I'll go through some of the ones that's come on at the minute because I don't want to be ignorant on both sides. Happy New Year, Bernie. All the best. We're on the up, Kev Naylor. Kev, I totally agree with that. Paul Kearney says, Happy New Year, Bernie. Happy New Year to you, Paul. Great win. Bit scrappy first half, but good in the end. Well, yeah. There's no guarantees that every game's going to be exciting and a great in the eyes and a great spectacle. Today, I thought first half was poor. I thought both teams had been on the drink, if I'm being honest. But anyway, second half we came to life, showed our qualities and my finishing skills, and yeah, nobody can deny us the 3 points. Happy New Year, Bernie, for Jonathan Mank. Happy New Year, Bernie. Happy New Year to you, Jonathan. Do you think Crooks is worth keeping up front for the rest of the season? Well, Jonathan, if he doesn't get the 2 goals a day, you question, if he doesn't get any goals today, you question, well, why is he up there? Me personally, Crooks was top scorer a season or 2 ago on the right. Do I think he's better than Foz out there? Well, Foz, I've not seen enough of Foz, but I don't think he's a right winger. I think he's better than Foz out there. I think he'll be more productive out there. Is he better than Jones out there? I think, well, getting the 12 goals he got a year or two ago, I would say yes. So for me, he'd be the best right-sided player. Maybe he's playing up there at the minute, killing a bit of time of filling the space for somebody new coming in the January window. But he grasped it today and he could have quite easily had a hat-trick. Andrew Smith, happy New Year, Andrew. All the best to you and your family, including the cross-dresser. Well, the cross-dresser is an important part. Callum Gibby, is it Gibby? Yeah. Good time to be a Borough fan. I can't help feeling it. Well, Callum, if you don't feel good now as a Borough fan, you'll never feel any good. Bam, the Borough fans say a very good evening. Very happy New Year from Thailand. Happy New Year to you, Bam. Great second, well-deserved 3 points. 5th in the league. Hackney was my man of the match up the Borough. If you're talking about man of the match, I'd give it to Crooks. Why? Because of what he done. What did he do? Scored 2 and goal. Got us off the hook to get that goal. We needed a goal. He scored it. It was a great ball for Housen, as I mentioned. But he scored 2 and made 1. Hackney, for him to really catch my eye, and he has caught my eye, and I think he's been terrific, the kid, but to really catch my eye, he needs to score goals. He needs to get more goals. I think he's got it in his locker. He just needs to be a wee bit more adventurous, a wee bit more selfish. That will come probably with age and experience. Colin Robertson says, we were brilliant second half, so good to watch. Carrick is doing the business with Wilder's team. Up to 5th. Yeah, you're right. Chris McGlade, my old pal, says, how do, Bernard? How are you, Chris? Happy New Year. Hope you had a great time. Didn't he eat too many turkeys and too much wine? And I'm sure you didn't, Chris. I know you'll after you say you're an athlete. You're built like a jockey's whip. Andrew Smith says, fantastic result today, Bernie. It's going to be a tough rest of the season, but I'm confident we can make the top 6. You are invited to come with me to Wembley for the playoffs in first class on the train. Andrew, get me down there. If we're in the playoffs, and I don't see any reason why we can't, the rich vein of form we're in, Akpom scoring goals, Crooksies get 6, Watmer's got 4 or 5. We're spreading the goals around now. We're creating chances at will. Top 2, I don't think it'll be top 2, but top 6. If we invest in 1 or 2 players January, I don't see any reason why we cannot be top 6. I really don't. And get me on that train. Last train I was on was, I think it was Casey Jones's train. You think there's anyone we'll be in for in the window, Bernie? Callum. Well, Callum, I've seen it here. What was the... somebody was asking that question. Obviously went over these beforehand. Where was it? Oh, yeah, they were talking about Ross Stewart, weren't they? So Ross Stewart, if you don't know Ross Stewart, lad for Sunderland. Borough's linked with them. I'm sure it cost bucks. I don't know how much. But he's got an 18-month contract. The question, I'll read out because John put it in first. Any truth, Bernie, and Akpom... Oh, sorry. That was Akpom. I'll come to him in a minute. Any truth that Sunderland Ross Stewart is coming to the Borough in January? Well, it's speculation. But he scored 4 and 4 since he returned from injury. He's obviously got a good track record. I believe he's got 18 months in his Sunderland contract. But he'd be a great signing for us. Will we realistically get him? I don't know what the money involved is. If it's 8 million or something like that, there's no chance. I don't think there's a hope in hell's chance, if I'm being brutally honest. The one above it says, John, any truth? John says, any truth, Bernie, and Akpom being monitored by Palace, Everton and Southampton? I'm sure he'll be getting attention. I'm sure he'll be under the spotlight. I'm sure there'll be people looking and thinking, top of the championship scoring ratio. He's got 13 today. There's 20 games left to play. Would I be concerned if he left? Well, without a doubt. That would really pull the rug from under our feet. He's part of the reason we're up in that top 6 with his goals. And the way he's playing well as well, and he's enjoying it. But we're a selling club. If it happened, I wouldn't be thinking, no way, how can you do it? We're a selling club. We've proved that throughout the years. Most clubs are selling clubs, except the top 4 or 5. So there's no doubt Akpom will be getting attention, without a doubt. For opposing teams, for opposing managers, they'll be looking there and thinking, he could do a job for us, because the teams like Southampton and Palace and Everton, I think they're all struggling to score goals. So I'll come back to those. So, happy New Year, Bernie. All the very best. Happy New Year to you, Reese. Thanks for joining us. Richie Payne says, great performance again. Away from home. Some tough games coming up. Looking to the next few games. Confidence is sky high up the borough. Richie, I agree. There is a lot of tough games. I've looked at it. I had a wee brisk over the 20 games coming up, and I'm thinking, yeah, there is a lot of half decent teams come, better than Birmingham and better than, well, Blackpool. Sort of played Blackpool. They're one of the better teams, but there is a lot of half decent teams to come up. We've already proved that we can beat them. Christian Stubbs says, great results in Carrick, showing great management with tweaks at half time. 2 games on the bounce. Christian, you're right. Christian Stubbs. Dave Saunders says, 3 of the top 8 next 3 Burnley. Walsall, Watford, Sunderland. That's a test. They're all tests. Blackburn was a test. We're 1-0 down. I know we get a rub of the green, a bit of luck or fate or whatever you want to call it, and the lad gets sent off for throwing the ball off McGree's head. I don't know if they appealed yet. Has it been rescinded? I think it'll be rescinded. But anyway, we beat Blackburn, so that was a great result. And they're one of the top teams. Callum Morrison says, think it's a little early to start getting excited as Wilder had better points tally after 9 games before today. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. Much better football this time round up the borough. Callum, that's a nice balanced view. I wasn't really aware of that. So I'll read that again so everybody's giving it big ones, me included, saying we're going to be top 6. Think it's a little early to start getting excited as Wilder had a better points tally after 9 games before today. But I hope I'm wrong. Much better football this time around. Football's better in the eye, more exciting, more entertaining. I'm not including today's game in that. I thought today there was some bad passing from us and certainly them. But we were the winners. It's all about winning. Now it's about winning. Is it right Ronaldo's coming to the borough, Bernard, for Christmas? Chris, without a shadow of a doubt. No, he's signed for the Saudis or somewhere or that neck of the woods, isn't he? Nah, he's not coming. He's not coming. Sorry, Chris, to disappoint you. Bernie, is your... Oh, for Dave. Hiya, Dave the Rave. Bernie, is your job in the Legends Lounge under threat from Akpom? No. Somebody put on the social network the other day, and I had to laugh. Oh, that means Akpom, now that he's got X amount of goals, he'll be selling books in the Hill Street Centre. I just laughed. I thought that was funny, and I was going to reply, well, he needs another 100 and odd on top of what he's got now, but I didn't bite. Anyway, yeah, thanks for that, Dave. Hey, listen, Akpom, if he gets it, brilliant. I don't lose any sleep. I don't lose any money. It doesn't enhance my life or devalue my life, whatever happens with Akpom. Good luck to the lad. As I say, I private messaged him, I got a reply, but it's a private conversation, so I don't have to send a message to anybody or anything. But that's my style. Another superb away day performance, Bernie. Chuba also outright top goal scorer so far for Jason Coleman. And he is, not just for Middlesbrough. Akpom deserves the plaudits. He got the stick, and rightly so. 3 million, 2 years, never kicked his backside for whatever reason, not getting picked or injuries or COVID or heading off to Turkey, wherever he was. Now, by God, he deserves a plaudit, slap in the back, without a doubt. Complete transformation compared to what Gene Wilder put out in the park. Long may it continue up the borough, Stephen Easby. As I say, Stephen, every time I'm asked this question, people say, come on then, what's the difference? And I keep saying it's simplistic things. Sometimes you overthink things in life, not just football. I've been on it for years, and in the lounges or whatever, and I've heard other guys saying it, another woman or people, and saying, why don't we go for it at the back? Pulis never done it. Karanka didn't want to do it. Wilder never done it. Warnock never done it. This guy's come and went, do you know what? I played with Man United. Top team. This is why we were a top team. We're adventurous. We're fearless. We're brave. We're going to attack. We're going to beat the opposition. I mean, there was some stat come up with AM saying that we've only kept 1 clean sheet away from home. Quite frankly, I don't give a shit. As long as we're scoring more goals in opposition, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not a defensive-minded guy. I'm a forward-thinking guy. That's why I was a striker. That's why you score goals. You're out with that mentality. If we go out every game to say we're going to win it, we're not going to try and blow the pants off the opposition or put them asleep and then go for the counter. We're going to go and entertain and do it with a bit of style and class. That was something Bruce Rioch used to say to us. Bruce Rioch says, we don't want to kick our way out of the division. This was in the third, and then the second to the first. He says, we don't want to kick our way out of the division. We want to play a bit of football. And I'm sure anybody that watched that era, the Spirit 86 or the Class 86, whatever you want to call it, would have been entertained. for a lot less money, I have to say. I think the majority back then in the hall getting used to skipping. Wendy Durant says, Happy New Year, Bernie. Happy New Year, Wendy. Great time for the Borough at the minute. I think this is our season. We will go up to the Premier League. What do you think, Bernie? Well, Wendy, the top two, I think there's a, 14, 15 point gap, something like that. They would have to really blow a gasket and blow up for us to really get in there. Top six, I think without a shadow of a doubt. I'm not one to oversay things or overdo things, or I think I'm level-headed when I come to looking at situations regarding football. And I think at the minute, Carrick, we're playing so well. Everybody looks to be enjoying the system and the way we play, and the fans are enjoying watching it. And I think if we just get one or two players in, just to let the other teams in the division know that we mean business. We're rubber stamping. We want to be in that top six. We have possibility of getting into the Premier League. We've been in this division too long. I think it's 13 years we've been in this division. 13 years. And some seasons we went into it and looked as if we don't want to get into the Premier League, or we didn't want to get into the Premier League. That's the thing that annoys me. There is, I don't forget, I watch every game, home and away. I've watched it for years and years. I've been in TSA 30, 35, 36 years. I've hardly missed a game, if any. I watch it and I think, over the years, sometimes I used to think, do we really want promotion? But this year, the way Carrick's come in and set the head of the light and everything's going hunky-dory, I don't see any reason why we can't be top six. Hope we don't have a cup run this year. League is a major now. Oh, Rob, we're not going with that old chestnut. No. Rob, I don't buy into that crap. It's rubbish. Last year we got knocked out the cup. Early doors. 2 cups. Did that enhance our season and make us go up? No. Season before, out early doors. Does it enhance our season? No. It's no bearing on the league whatsoever. And by the way, I'm intrigued what he's going to do. If it was me, I keep saying to you, start again, get more goals. The lads that's not played, yeah, you've definitely come on as subs, but let Akpom get more goals. Let so-and-so get another goal. Big Crooksy, let's try and keep a clean sheet. We're playing a decent team in Brighton, a Premier League team. So I don't buy into it. You're kidded. It's a cop-out for managers and an excuse. Or our fans, when you get done, it doesn't matter. So if we were playing, I was going to say Hamilton Accies, but they're in a different league. They're north of the border. If we're playing Telford United or something, and we get beat, would you just accept and say, it doesn't matter, we come? No, come on. We've got momentum. We want to go out there and we played Tottenham. We played a strong team. I think we played a full team against Tottenham, didn't we? And beat them. We never won the cup, but no, I don't think the cup has no bearing whatsoever. Unless you get trounced like 15-0, which isn't going to happen. Jack Kamara says, Happy New Year, Bernie. Happy New Year, John's his first name. It's what we needed, a manager who's actively making the team attack instead of thinking defensively. Defend first. The movement of the team is much better up the effing Borough. The F means foot, of course. Totally agree. They're all saying it. William Wallace, fortune favours the brave. And we're going for it. Every game we're out there, we're going for it. I'm not saying we go out and out willy-nilly, but some games we pass it square. But in the main, the forward-thinking players get turned and go for it. Hackney, young kids come in. Before the ball arrives, he scans, he has a look what's behind him, and his first trainer thought is to get turned and play it forward. Before, with guys like Clayton and company getting it here, facing their own goal, playing it back to the centre half, playing it square to the full back. No good, monotonous. Sunderland will never sell to us. Plus, they've lost Sims, recalled back to Everton. Yeah, Sims will back to Everton, you're right. Well, they will. If we've got the money, if you get the cash on the table, then we will sell, because we're a selling club and Sunderland cannot turn it down. But I would question, and I'm a Borough fan, don't forget, and I love scoring goals against Sunderland. I did manage to score a few, and against Newcastle, however. But why would this boy, I'm being neutral, what I'm thinking. Why would this lad come to Middlesbrough and leave Sunderland, who get 30, 40,000, who are they level with us, or below us a point or two, and they've got a good manager in Tony Mowbray? Why would he come to us? It could only be money. Yeah, so there's a question for you, Neil. So you're saying Sunderland won't sell it? Hey, we'll never sell it. Of course they would. I remember Celtic Rangers. There'd never been a Rangers player went to Celtic. I might be wrong here, but somebody will correct me. And the first player that went was Alfie Conn. Alfie Conn was a long-haired guy, very good technical player, footballer, skillful. And he went to Celtic and everybody was like, can't believe he'll never go there. He did. So it happens, but money talks. Hey, if you've got the money on the table, Sunderland's a selling club the same as Middlesbrough. All aboard the Carrick Express for Daniel Baz Joseph. Good name that, Daniel. Daniel Baz Joseph. I'm Bernie Joseph Slavin. HNY, Bernie for Terry Collins. How didn't Fry get in Wilder's team? He's magnificent. I tell you what, him and Lenihan now, you look at both of them, you think, Lenihan came in the team, wasn't getting a lot of praise, not off me, not off anybody. People were saying, what's he in for? Smith. Why is Smith here? They're in. They're doing the job. I'm still not overly convinced with Foz on the right. He scored Blackburn, great. His work rate's still phenomenal, but he's not a right winger. He's not a right-sided player. I think he's more central. And I think Crouchy's more a right-sided player than up the middle. Although he got 2 today, I think the longer it goes, Crouchy will start finding it harder because he's got his back to play and hairy-ass defenders kicking him and whatever. But we'll find out. Time will tell. What's in the thinking of Carrick? But as I say, when you're winning, the fans like to accept anything and players playing in any positions and anything going on. Blackburn appealed and it was turned down and he serves his ban. Is that right, Reese? Wow. The game really has flipped. Serious, Reese. Wow. I've been lost up in the festive activities, you know what I mean? Drinking iron brew and eating vegan mince pies. Andy McClay says, the players are giving their all for Carrick. What a difference. I think it's quite clear and evident, Andy. Even if you put a blindfold on, you can see Middlesbrough's enjoying it. The players are enjoying it. The fans are enjoying it. Carrick and Woodgate and company look as if they're enjoying it. It doesn't have any stress or strain. It must be good and enjoy it and express yourselves. And I think that comes with forward-thinking coaches. You know, I can imagine Carrick saying, look, if you lose the ball, not the end of the world, don't panic. You know, and encourage each other and have shots and create. And is Jeff Winter coming out of retirement for Chris McGlade? What, he played, yeah? To play Chris? I can't answer that. Jeff would have to answer that. Jeff Winter, it's a great name for this time of year, isn't it? Jeff Winter. Jeff was sunning it somewhere. He's back now in the Arctic. No reason why we can't grab second spot if we keep going, consistency going. Or is it optimistic? Games coming up, that's for Paul Gamble. Games coming up thick and fast. Spring on Brighton. Nice cup run. Bit of revenue. Get a Man City or Liverpool at home. Yeah. Let's try and keep momentum going. Momentum's everything. Start chopping and changing. And anybody says, oh, I've heard this crap over the years now. Let's wrap so and something cotton wool. Let's we need them for the big games. You can get into the training. That's a myth as well. We're in a run, everybody's praising us, everybody in the park looks as if they're enjoying it. Let's keep it going. No need to disrupt it. All right, Bernie, great result for us today up the Borough. Tony Peacock. Tony, without a doubt, it was a great result. Smashing 3 goals and we move on to the cup game and then back to the bread and butter. Jack Friend says, we should be extremely confident to take on Brighton now. Let's keep bagging these points as well. I watched, was it Brighton yesterday? Mixed up with the days. Yeah, they played the other day, didn't they? They were getting humped, and then all of a sudden they got a couple of goals back. Andrew Hill says, great victory. They got it done eventually. Andrew Hill says, great victory for the Borough today, and Crooks was brilliant today, along with Hackney and Akpom. Well done, Andrew. Bit of praise there. Hackney never put a foot wrong all game. Man of the match for me. Darryl Easton, is it? Listen, I'm a fan, but certain games, we'll watch the same game, but we've all got different mindsets and attracted to different things, whether it's a woman, an animal, what kind of dog you want, what you like. I look for creative goal-scoring midfielders and forward players. I mean, did I see the day? I watched the Rangers-Celtic game. I say Rangers because it was at Ibrox. And did I see that the stat came up? Tavernier, not Marcus Tavernier, who went to Bournemouth, he'll never get 100 goal. His brother scored 100 goals for Rangers. I know you're saying 100 goals, Mickey Mouse. No, he's played in Europe, played in UEFA Cup finals, he's played in the European Cup games. And he's a fullback, he's a defender. Might be right wing back, forward thinking. But 100 goals for that position, that's wow. Hackney's a masterpiece in the squad. Tony, I've read comments like this before with young lads coming in the team. I've seen it and heard it for 35, 36 years on Teesside. Calm down. It's when he does it this season, and he does it next season, and then he does it the season after. But the odds are the season after, which will be the third, he'll be gone if he keeps turning in 5-star performances and as good as you're portraying. Let's give the guy time. We all raved about Jones. People are going, Jones, fantastic, we cash in, get the money, da-da-da. Now people's having a go at Jones. Oh, he's after Boyle, people know his makeup, he's a one-trick pony and all this crap. So, calm down. Seen it for years at Middlesbrough. Whether it's defenders, central midfielders, centre-halves. We've never done any centre-forwards to really talk about. Overdo it at Middlesbrough. Calm down. Give him his praise. He deserves it. But calm down. What has he scored? 1 goal. He's an attack midfielder. Has to score more than 1. I'm trying to think of Rangers player today. It was getting stick off the commentators or former players. No, so much stick. Well, it was stick. But it was saying that he's got the he's got it in his locker to score goals. He scored a great goal today. Cut in for the inside left and curled it top left-hand corner. No keeper in the country could have saved it. It's a great goal. But they were saying this guy's got everything, but he's got nothing because he doesn't get the goals. He scores a wonder goal a day against in a high tempered derby game, and week to week in Scotland he can't do it. Is it Kent? I say Kent, no, with a U in the middle. Hi Bernie, great result. Not a lot to moan about. Only thing to say is defence, but can't fault a passing. As if it's Stephen Boyle Smith. Hopefully get some new talent this month. But as I say, if we really want to make a statement intent to the division, people are looking at us now and they're looking and thinking, do you know what? That Carrick's turned it round. Gels is unbelievable. Whitney balls in. Ashpom top scorer in the division. And what did they do? They've went and signed 2 and 3 players. That's the statement intent. If we go through the window and we weren't to get anybody, I'd be majorly disappointed as a Borough fan. I don't want to hear all this tosh. Oh, he doesn't fit the criteria and we couldn't get anybody. I don't want to hear all that crap. I've heard that for years with certain people. Don't buy into it. We need 2 or 3 players to declare we mean business this year. We want to get out of this division. We want to give it our best shot. We want to support Carrick, and let's do it. And this is the time to do it when we're on top, when things are going well. Thank you, Dave Hanby. Thank you, Michael Carrick, who's brought belief and a winning mentality to the same group of players who struggled under Wilder. He's also brought smiles back on the faces of thousands of Borough supporters, and we're scoring goals again. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, David. Well, nobody can disagree with that. I'd love to chat to Wilder and Warnock and ask them, what do they think of the turnaround? And what do they think as to why Carrick's had such a good time in Teesside and they huffed and puffed. The way the Borough are playing, it's been a long time coming, pretty to watch. Stephen, it has been a bit of time coming, but hey, we're there. Forward thinking managers, he played with a top team who knows all about going that way. Steady, defend, blow the pants off the opposition, blow the pants off the players, put them as the opposition to sleep and try and nick a goal. We had that football for years. By God, it was rubbish. A cracking festive period. Hopefully, no traditional New Year slump. Nah, I think that to talk about we're done before the decorations. I think that saying's gone. That saying's went out the window now. Champions, trust me. Dave Ditchburn, champions, get your money out. Paul Hutch says Carrick has come in, won the dressing room, absolutely love his interviews, cool and calm. The players are playing very good forward football, not the side-to-side shite under previous managers. Well, I mentioned that earlier about the side-to-side pass. That did my head in. Keeping retention of the ball in your own half. While the forwards are moving all over the pitch doing like shuttle runs, while everybody in the stands watching the back line in defence passing it across and going nowhere. Looking at January fixtures, this is for Jonathan Mount. Looking at January fixtures, this is a massive month for us. Playing Sunderland, Millwall, Watford, all in around us. Yeah, well, this is what this division's about. Anything can happen in this division. We've seen it. It was a couple of years ago. We were odds on. We'd went a run of X amount of games. We were odds on to make the playoffs. We never made it. I agree with you, Bernie. Keep a winning side. Breed confidence. If anything gives you a lift. Raymond, I'm only talking for experience. You know, I laughed years ago. A big Pally in the Palliser who went on to United fame, won everything in the game. And I remember saying to him once, do you agree with Middlesbrough Chapman changing? Oh, I agree with it. I said, well, how come you were never dropped with Fergie? Hi, Bernie. Carrick getting it right, especially using Crooksy, this with Gareth Lowe, to his best position. Well, he's saying Crooksy's best position. Well, I've not seen enough to confirm that he's his best position, but 2 goals a day was great. But against Blackburn, so. I want to say, yeah, keep the same side. Yeah, come back to back. So Pally says, oh, yeah, you should chop and change and rest. And I said, well, Fergie never rested you. I looked through, he played every game. I don't hear any player talking about fatigue, tiredness, especially with 20 games to go. If there was 2 games to go and we played like 44 games, I'd think, fair enough, that's a fair point. But still got 20 games to go. And we played Brighton. If we're out, that's us at both cups. And then we've got 20 league games. It's a straight run then. But Happy New Year, Bernie. Slavin for Peter. Hiya, Peter. Happy New Year to you. Carrick is doing a brilliant job. Time for the chairman to back him. Joe Broomfield. Well, it's time for him, the director of coaching, to back him. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And let's hope they confirm it. Well, they've got him in. He must have... When the negotiations, by all accounts, broke down, and then we went cap in hand and got him back, and then eventually stayed, surely that was one of the things he wanted. He wanted new talent in January. Irrespective of how we were performing. But surely now, the chairman, Steve Gibson, must be thinking, do you know what? Let's push the ball. Let's really try and confirm what our ambitions are as a football club. I just hope we can keep hold of Carrick. I could see the likes of West Ham coming in from. He's still a young... Listen, again, it's I know it happens, but whether it's centre forward scoring a few and coaches coming in doing a good job, instantly everybody's got them up on this pedestal, statues, and they're the best and they're going to get snapped up. You calm down, man. It's when you do it year in, year out as a coach or a manager or as a centre forward or as a goalkeeper or keeping clean sheets. It's not 20 games and you're the top man. Yes, overturned the red card. When is the donkey and hay happening, Bernie? Oh, dear God, you're right, Ian. Anybody out there? Ian, you're right. Bring it up. The lad bounced the balloon-type ball, the modern-type balloon-type ball, headed it off the head of McGree, Blackburn. I says, if that's not rescinded, I will eat hay with a donkey. So if there's anybody run about here with a donkey, I will come and eat hay with it. I agree, Bernie. A good cup run would be a bonus. Get one of the Premier big boys at home to the Riverside. This is for Ian Plumpton. The extra revenue it will generate will come in handy. That's a very good point. Kieran Scott not got a manager he can work with on signings. I missed the last bit and I don't know how to get it up. And I still don't know the gig with this. Did you mean a beach ball? Well, no. The modern balls are just like soft balloons, isn't they? That's what I know, the beach ball. I remember that. Remember Sunderland? Was it Liverpool with the beach ball? Was it Dan Bent that hit it and it hit somebody and went in? The beach ball. I was there that day. Home field, the Riverside, the extra revenue. Yeah, the extra revenue would hopefully go towards a new face or two. Now, Benny lad, Carrick exactly as a player, calmness and quality, game management, and things not going to plan. Can't wait to see who is on his January list. Well, I'm looking forward to it. As I say, I hope at least 1 or 2 players come in. Rob Tipp says Rangers played Celtic and drew 2-2. No, I know that, Rob. Come on. I watched the game. I thought Celtic the first half an hour on the ball were very good. Rangers created the best chances. Celtic took the lead. Rangers came out the second half like men possessed, tore Celtic to shreds, and were 1-2-1. Got a penalty, and it was a penalty. And then in the dying embers, The lad up front scored a goal with about, I don't know, 6-7 minutes to go. Who does it favour? It favours Celtic. Celtic's 9 points clear. I think the league's over up there. In England, it's a 2-horse race, I think. 2-horse race, maybe. Yeah, 2-horse race. Man City and Arsenal. Fantastic result today. Bernie played well. We did that, Steve. Andrew says, I just hope these performances under Carrick continue, but there's always a danger if they do that. A Premier League club comes in for him and he's out the door. Let's hope to stays loyal. Bernie, as if you might know, it's likely Stefan will return to his club at the end of the season. But I think without a doubt. I'll be honest. I think the boy Roberts, what I seen him would be a good cover for him. And if you hear a noise in the background, it's my cat. My cat's been sick. My cat. I love animals. My cat's been sick. Too greedy. Anyway, sorry, I'll go over that again. Andrew said, I just hope these performances under Carrick continue, but there's always a danger if they do, a Premier League club comes in for him and he's out the door. Let's hope he stays loyal. Loyal. There's no such a thing in them. The lad that's at Rangers, who was at Queen's Park Rangers, says months ago on the radio, and he was getting bummed up with national radio stations and pundits, how good he was and being loyal, and you know, it's a rare thing in the modern game, and then he ends up in Glasgow. It was Queen's Park Rangers to go to Glasgow. So loyalty, there's no loyalty in today's game. No loyalty. Let's hope he stays loyal. So I don't know Carrick personally, but there's no loyalty. Money talks, money, get it through your heads, money dictates the world. We've seen it with Qatar. All the guys saying how bad the Qatarians, the people over there, and you know what they do to people, but we all still went. All the teams went. All the pundits went. And yet they're all preaching here, but they all go over there. Come on. Let's hope he stays loyal, and me both know the only loyalty in football is from the fans. Well, I'm sorry I didn't get to the end of your thing. I was giving my opinion before I read to the end. Andrew, you're right. That's the only thing that's loyal. Politics, they come and go. 1 week they're Tory, the next week they're Labour, the next week they're fucking voting the monkey in Hartlepool or whatever. Politics, so they chop and change, they blow with the wind as well. Everybody blows with the wind except the fans. Managers come and go, chairmen come and go, players come and go, coaches come and go. But the fans, when you're a fan, whatever team you're brought up, that's the team you stay with, no matter who it is. Starting to manage games better and seeing out results. The points we threw away under Wilder, being too defensive with a 5 at the back, cost us massively last season. Enjoying life under Carrick. And you should be, Steve, or Stephen. This confidence in the Borough side, as if Chris, must be going through the roof. I don't know why some people are moaning about performance levels. Maybe not every minute of every match is quality football, but at the end of the day, the team in the main is playing flowing attacking football or scoring goals and winning games. During the first 8 weeks of the season, pardon me, we would have all given a right hand for what we have now. I can't disagree with that, Chris. That's a good bit, that. In fairness, when Carrick took over, we were 22nd. We are now 5th after 10 games in charge. Yeah, hey, look, it's a remarkable turnaround. It's funny how nobody mentions Leo now, isn't it? A few people out there will want Leo as manager. No, coach. And Leo's disappeared into the ethos, and now we've got Carrick in and everybody's... And rightly so. I mean, Leo was only there short term. We know he was in there, and now he's... I don't know his title, but he's still within the club. But this guy's come in, and people question would get him back. I did. I remember seeing Woody and saying, I was surprised when you got the job and you returned. They said, so was I. But he's here. He's keeping low profile, and he's assisting Carrick in everything he's doing. As a duo, they're working a treat. And both of them are no loud, or they look fairly cool and relaxed. I'm trying to just keep missing it. Lawrence Etherington said, couldn't agree more. We need to calm down. There's a long way to go. Let's see what happens in the transfer market. Players will come and go. Let's see where we end up in March time. There's still plenty of points to play for. Yeah, as we're all saying, we want to boost morale and confidence even greater than we are at the minute, if that's possible. But it is possible. When you're top, that's when you add things to it. we just need to hope that people don't get shipped out. Just wanted to say thank you, Bernie. All the goals for the Borough, true legend up there from Borough, 1986. No name, that's just 1986. Thanks for that. Yeah, we need to hope in January, as much as we're hoping for players community to confirm that we want top 6, that we don't get a few surprises, people going out the door for money. Look, I'm not an accountant, I'm not the chairman, I'm a Borough fan, former Borough player. I want the money spent if I've got it. I don't want to see loads of money come in and the fan in the street going, oh, that's great value for him. We got him for 3 and we sold him for 15 and that's brilliant. It's only brilliant for you, the fan, if we spend it. And there's no guarantees of spending it. So as a fan, stop kidding you're an accountant and a chairman and a businessman. You're a fan. Fans want money spent, no matter who you support. Fans want to see the money put into investment in the team. We've done it over the years, like. I mean, it must be hard now for chairman to think like that when you look at Akpom. 3-4 years ago, he cost 15 million, then he walks out the door. See, the players, the clubs used to have the players with the bollocks. Now the players have got the clubs with the bollocks. You pay 15 million for Akpom, when he's contract, and then in January we could have negotiated to try and ship him out. Nothing happens. And then at the end of that season, many years ago, the clubs would have demanded a fee. Now the player says, see ya, and goes in. If he gets 4 million, he puts it in his pocket. Must be good being a modern player, eh? I'm not liking reading about some teams are looking at Akpom. Well, Carl, that's going to happen. I was a bit cautious when Woodgate was named at the coaching staff. That's for Stephen. Well, no need to be. Doing very well. He's keeping low profile, as is Carrick, and they're doing the business. I'm not like reading about Carl. Hiya, Carl. No, but when you're in the shop window, if you like, and when you're doing well, people talk about you. People are attracted to you. People want to see you and talk about you and bum you up or whatever and see what you've got. And I think we should be proud of Akpom and company attracting attention. That's what football's about, isn't it? In life, attracting attention. So I personally think it's a good thing. It means we're doing something right. Akpom's doing his job. The team's doing their job. Carrick's doing his job. Everybody's attracting attention. I think it's brilliant. Professional. What a difference it makes throughout the football club. Throughout the club. Neil Logan. How do you know the professionalism right through the club, Neil? You only talk about on the field. Yeah, professional. You have to be professional. You need to be tunnel visioned. We need to have a one-track mind. Akpom one-track mind to get as many goals as they can. The team to get in that top 6 and try and get into the Premier League. And Carrick has to juggle everything and keep everybody bubbling over. Do you think Jones could still feature? Maybe Carrick isn't sold on him. Again, Adrian, if Jones was to get sold in the January window, I wouldn't be overly shocked or surprised. I'm sure we get a few million, but again, I'd rather keep Jones and get a few million and don't spend it. But if you were to say we could sell Jones and the money we get from him, we will definitely invest it in a player, I would say probably go for it. I mean, at the minute, Carrick's obviously nudged him out. He's got Foz playing out there who, I don't think that's his position. Crooks, he's obviously moved up front. But I think the Crooks up front, I think that will change. Well, I hope it changes in January when he gets another centre forward in. Want to strengthen ready today. The Geordie winger is on his way out. Fraser, I think. Rocco Rosselli. Is that right? Is that wrong? I completely agree with Bernie. We are doing great now and bringing in a few players during the window. Well, this is for David Clark. We'll make a real statement intent. Statement intent. We've not done it in the past. There's times when we should have got players in and we said we were going to get players in and it was reported in the local rags who are in bed with the club that we're going to get this and we're going to do this and it never happened. It was fantasy. We want reality. We're doing well, we're getting the praise, we'll get more praise as a football club and our confidence will grow even greater as a support and as a team and as a town if we invest and get a few more players in, or a couple of players in January. If we don't get anybody in, and God forbid, a couple of top players, say Gels and Akpom get injured, what do we do? Where do we go? Are they going to be, the players that come in, are they going to be good? No, they're not. Chrissy Allport says, I can see Paddy getting sold in the window, or this window. I'd rather he went and loaned somewhere for any time, but I think he is a big player for us with his versatility. Definitely send Muniz back, as it will be a big saving in wages. I wouldn't be surprised if Muniz disappeared. He was on the bench today. Paddy, wouldn't it be better to bring Coburn back from Bristol instead of playing Crooks up front? Terry Fisher. Well, that's a fair point, Terry. Do you say, do you know what? Bring Coburn back. He's a young lad, good prospect, scored a few goals last season. Yeah, but why not? That's a good point. So if I'm Coburn and I'm on loan and I'm scoring a few when I'm on loan and I'm a centre forward betrayed and I'm looking thinking, Crooksy, he played the majority of his time on the right. Why are they not calling me back? Carrick is clever enough to realise he is starting his management career at the right club for him at the moment. Colin Ibbotson. He will be sought after but level-headed enough to stay put. Yeah, but Colin, there's no guarantees in football. Look at Gerrard. Gerrard goes to Glasgow Rangers. He's there for 3 years. People's raving about him. Now in Glasgow, in England, they keep saying it's Mickey Mouse up there. He won one trophy in 9. One trophy in 9 or 10 or 11, 12, whatever it was. That was the Premier League. Stopped Celtic doing the 10. They celebrated, and rightly so. Then he goes to Villa, and everybody's going, he'll be fantastic at Villa. He'll do the business. Where is he now? Lampard started off brilliant. And then he's went to Everton last year. He had a mare. Great result the other day. Wayne Rooney. I mean, a lot of these guys, because of the footballing ability, not the coaching ability or the man management ability, because of their names and titles in their footballing career, have been given top jobs. There's guys out there who have worked the ladder for years. I watched every Bristol City game and Josh lacks the pace, unfortunately, for the top of the championship. 10 minutes. I'm getting the 10 minutes for the cross-dresser. Yeah, so where was I? I always get told 10 minutes because I tend to rabbit on, and I've not read these, and I'm really, really sorry. But Steve says Carrick ain't going nowhere. He's enjoying his time at the moment. It'd be nice if we could sign Giles, but I think it might be a struggle. Fingers crossed. Well, you're talking about Akpom grabbing the attention. If I was an opposing manager, coach, or scout, Giles would have caught my eye as soon as he came through the door. He's been unbelievable. Him and Akpom for me has been player of the years, but Akpom would not have got as many goals and will not get as many goals if Giles wasn't on that left. You can't rely on the right now. First year, whatever, 18 month when Jones was on the right, people you see he can create. On this left side, his crosses are amazing, unbelievable. So for me, he'll be attracting a lot of attention. And his contract, he's only on loan to the end of the season. Can we keep him? I don't think we can. Again, it'll be a lot of money to keep him. Wolves can ask what they want, but I think he'll be attracting. He's in the shop window, so the other clubs will be looking at his ability the way we're looking at it and thinking, how good is this lad? Gary says, I hope we target an experienced Premiership player who are not getting their game regularly. Think we will... oh, dear goodness, sorry. I pressed the wrong button. I apologise. Bernie, loving the way we play. Tidy. I lost my train of thought there. Pressed the wrong one. Bernie, loving the way we play. Tidy football first half. Then second half blitzed them after we've seen what they were capable of up the borough. For Rob Bernie, loving the way we play. Tidy football. I didn't think it was tidy. I thought some of it was sloppy. Rob. Some of the passes were iffy. Well, in the last third we were huffing and puffing. Can't remember there. Keeper having a shot to save. I think McGree headed one that my granny could have saved, just a save. But hey, it's about the 90 minutes. The game lasts 90 minutes. I reckon we'll finish top two. For Chris, the stars are aligned and sometimes you just can't stop what's meant to be. I would like to see Coventry striker Jaikores. I know, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Transfer window. He'd be a good one. First signing... It should be Ryan Giles, the lad oozes quality. Oozes quality, oozes class. His delivery is not, I say it all the time on here, he doesn't cross blind, he lifts his head, he looks, and he whips in all sorts of balls, on the floor, midriff, in the air. He's terrific. And he's my biggest supply line for goals. If you took him out the team today with 20 games left and, well, I don't want to say touch wood, nothing happened, that would be a massive loss. That's my biggest supply gone. Giles has the most assists in the league. I think every manager would be looking at him. Like I said earlier, they should play the second half and the first half, Stephen. Stephen Simmons should play the second half and the first half. I don't think that's allowed, Stephen. I was going to say you're Irish and people say, oh, you can't say that. Well, I thought I was Irish. Do you think Carrick uses Man United contacts to bring someone on loan? I think he could. I think, well, McLaren did it. He used it. Robbo used it. So why can't Carrick? Carrick was there over 10 years, hundreds of games, very successful, littered with medals, worked under a few of the top boys like Mourinho and that. I've shadowed them. He must have learnt something, surely. Know your hair's looking messy. Chris says messy, know your hair's looking messy. Oh, come on, you're not talking mine, are you? Right, I'll read these out and that's it, I think. Yeah, right. Okay, and thanks for joining us and thanks to the sponsors. I'll read them out in a minute. So, great result today. This is for Liam. Great result today, Bernie. 5th in the league. What a turnaround. Magnificent. I mean, obviously at the minute, I think it's Millwall and Luton have still got a game in hand, so they could knock us out that top 6, but hey, we're up there. We're up there with the big boys. Fozzie, I don't think it's a Fozzie that plays right wing today. 20 league goals left, 20 league games left, sorry. How many do you see us winning, Bernie? Well, obviously, I don't know. I'm not got a crystal ball. I'm not a clairvoyant. I live in a caravan or whatever. That's not a slub, by the way. Why can't we go undefeated? Why can't we go undefeated? We seem to get the way form we're going in with winning games. At home, let's turn it into a fortress. And why not? I think that if I had 20 games as Carrick, I'd be saying, listen, people might not think it's possible. Let's go 20 games without defeat. Doesn't mean we're going to win them all, but don't get beat. Jerry says, man of the match today, Bernie. I mentioned it, I give it to Crooksy for his 2 goals and assists. Graham says, Akpom flying, Bernie. What was your most prolific season? How many goals? How many season were you top league scorer? So it's a double barrel question for Graham. What was the question? How many goals? What was your most prolific season? My most prolific season was the season I got to 21 league goals. This is what Akpom's chasing now. 21 league goals, I ended up with 32 that season. And what was the other question? How many seasons were you top league scorer? Well, the first season at Middlesbrough, I was there just under 8 seasons. The first season at Middlesbrough, I came in 3 months into the season, so I didn't play a full season. And then at the end of the 8th season, I left way before the end of the season, the first half of the season. So the 6 full seasons I played for Middlesbrough, I was top scorer, top league scorer, and top scorer. Facebook Live. John says, any truth, Bernie and Akpom being monitored by Palace? I read that earlier. Yes, there is. Ross Stewart, well, it's all gossip, but there might be a bit of truth in it. No smoke without fire. Mick says, your Scottish team were lucky today against the Teddy Bears, meaning the Gers. I get the rhythmical rhyme. Rangers Rangers weren't ruthless enough, I have to be honest. As I say, Celtic 9 points clear. I think that suits Celtic more than Rangers. Terry says, Birmingham not scored in 3 of the last 4 games, so that's now 2 and 5. Hey, what's that got to do with the price of bread? We don't care about them. Leon says, how did you compare watching Rangers versus Celtic atmosphere to Birmingham Borough? That's a good question, Liam. The Borough Birmingham game was like a graveyard compared with Celtic Rangers game. That's not being disrespectful. Obviously, I don't know if they get a lot of work done in Birmingham, but the bottom tiers sit the Borough, who always make noise in that bottom left-hand corner behind the right-hand side goal. They made noise, but the rest of them seem to be up there. Couldn't really see them through the TV or hear them, which is dead. How many players in January for Brian? I says that I would bring 2 or 3 players in without a doubt in January. And last but not least, I'm going to read these and that's it. Neil says, our first performance was under par, Bernie. And then we battered them. Well, that's a fair assessment, and that's what I says, and I'm sure the people that get in touch tonight agree. Franco says, is Foz better than Jones, Bernie? Well, I've seen more of Jones than I have Foz. So what I've seen of Jones, the first year I thought, wow, he's exciting, he's fresh, he's fearless, he's direct, he can cross the ball, he can nick in and get a goal. And he's done a few times this season, but he seems to have tailed off a bit. But that comes as well with people getting to know your makeup and what you're about and what your qualities are, and watching DVDs or whatever, or footage. As I say, I personally probably put Crooks before Jones or Foz on the right. George says, only one away clean sheet for the Borough this season. That's not a good start, is it? Yeah, but I mentioned that earlier. I mentioned something like that earlier. I read that stat. Doesn't matter, as long as we're scoring more goals in opposition. I heard you saying earlier, top league scorer, you were 6 successive seasons. Can you remember your tally? I'll mention that another day. It's not about me, it's about Middlesbrough. So thanks for watching. Thanks to the sponsors, and thanks to obviously YouTube Live that I'm invested in now. And thanks to you on Facebook Live for watching us. And thanks to the sponsors. I always write them down because I cannot forget. Borough Ship Museum, Galaxy Blinds, Cornerstone TGM Cars, RWT, that's Richard Wills Training Associates, Cleveland Systems Engineering, and Advanced Utility Solution. Happy New Year. Have a great time. I'm going for a curry now. It's back to a bit of normality. Up the Borough. Cheers. Thanks for watching. And well done, the Borough. Next, and then post for 30 days.